Good afternoon, Pirates. My name is Eddie Roscoe, and I'm reporting live from PHS Mock Election Central. For the next half hour, we'll be bringing you live, up-to-date coverage from the mock election votes. We will also have political commentary and an interview with our very own Principal Steiger. Let's meet our panelists this afternoon. On the left, we have...
Hi, I'm Samuel Garcia. I'm a junior, and I'm a liberal still feeling the burn.
Hi, my name is Emily Paul. I'm a senior. I'm a lifelong Democrat, and I'm still feeling the burn.
Hi, I'm Jamie. I'm a hardcore liberal, and I guess I'm still feeling the burn too.
Now on the right we have...
I'm Scotty Elter. I'm a senior and I'm a conservative.
I'm Spencer Pockup. I'm a senior and I'm a conservative.
I'm Dante Duranzo. I'm a junior, and let's make America great again.
Now let's turn to our panelists to find their predictions on the mock election. Let's start off with Sammy.
So I have Clinton winning 520 to Trump's 18.
How about you, Emily?
I'm going to go with Clinton 492, Trump 46.
And Jamie?
Clinton 478 and Trump 60.
Well, let's go over to Dante.
Clinton 310, Trump 228.
How about you, Spencer?
I'm going with Clinton 331, Trump 207.
And finally, Scotty.
I got Clinton 408 and Trump 130.
And for me, I have 505 Clinton and 33 Trump. As you saw, all the panelists had Clinton winning the mock election, so let's turn over to some of them and see why they feel that way. Scotty?
I mean, I don't know. I would just say because of the Hispanic and Latino population we have in our school, I feel as if Donald Trump has said some very offensive things about that population. I feel as if Hillary would be a better candidate.
What do you, Jamie?
I would agree with Scotty most definitely, and I also think that because our school is made up of mostly millennials, and millennials tend to lean liberal. So I would say the combination of the great population of Latino students at our school and the fact that millennials are more liberal, I think that leads to a landslide for Clinton.
Sammy?
Yeah, no, both great points. Exactly why Clinton would win the poll here in the PHS. It also has to do with the fact with he's insulted just so many different groups of people that it's kind of hard for him to form a cohesive base of voters to win. It's just like there's not much for him to go to.
Would you say you agree with that, Spencer?
I mean, I can agree with that. I think that a lot of people are voting against Trump more so than for Hillary. I mean, she's got scandals kind of plaguing her candidacy, but as you know, she just got cleared recently by the FBI, so I think people are gaining trust in her now.
I totally agree with that. Spencer makes a good point, and so does everyone else. I think that Trump has a lot of scandals too, and that although many people might not like Clinton, she embodies a lot of the beliefs that many of us believe in, so that's why we want to vote for her.
Dante?
I would agree with that as well. I think that the demographics of Palatine High School both heavily influence that, and yeah.
Now let's turn over to Ms. Schock and Ms. Hammond to get a quick info session on the Electoral College.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Hammond. I teach AP Government. Hi, I'm Ms. Schock. I teach AP US History. And we're here to give you a little info session on the Electoral College. True or false? The candidate with the most popular votes becomes president.
Actually, that is false. As your teachers will remember, in 2000, Al Gore had the most popular votes. However, George W. Bush had the most electoral votes, thus winning the election.
Here's a little historical background on the origins of the Electoral College.
When the Constitution was written, America divided into two political parties. One, the Federalists, who believed that the wealthy elite men should control the government, and the other, the Democratic Republicans, who thought the common man should have more of a say. So what they ended up doing was compromising. The Electoral College exists, although the common man does have the right to vote for the presidency. However, if the Electoral College feels that the common man has chosen incorrectly, they can vote the way they think they should vote.
Here's how the Electoral College actually works. Each state is given a certain number of electoral votes based on their population, so big states have more electoral votes than small states do. In Illinois, for example, we have 18 members of the US House of Representatives and 2 senators. That gives us our total of 20 electoral votes. The same formula can be used in every state. You add the total number of members in the House plus 2 senators, and that's the total number of electoral votes for each state. That adds up. 435 members in the House, 100 senators. We give Washington, D.C. 3 electors, so they have an input in the presidential election as well, to give us a total of 538 electoral votes.
So how do you actually win the Electoral College, Mrs. Hammond?
You win by winning 270 electoral votes. Now here's how we get to that number. Each state determines how they're going to choose their electors. 48 out of the 50 states are what we call winner-take-all states. That means that whichever candidate wins their state, no matter how big or small the margin, they get all of that state's electoral votes. For example, in Illinois, Hillary Clinton is projected to win big in Illinois. Even if she won by 1 percentage point, she would still get all 20 of Illinois' electoral votes. There are 2 states that do it differently. Nebraska and Maine have both decided to split up their electoral votes. There are 3 districts, congressional districts in Nebraska. Those districts get their to vote to send their elector to the Electoral College depending on how each congressional district votes, plus 2 for the state total. Maine has 2 districts. They do it the same way as Nebraska. So they could theoretically split their vote between the Democratic and Republican candidates. We take the 48 states that are winner take all, plus Maine and Nebraska, and that's how we add up the total number of electors. In the end, we need 270. That's a majority, plus 1, right? Half of 538 plus 1 gives us 270. Now, it could happen that no candidate receives 270 electoral votes. If that's the case, it goes to the U.S. House of Representatives. Each state gets to cast 1 vote to determine who the president will be. Has this ever happened in American history?
It has. It's happened twice. Once in the election of 1800, where Thomas Jefferson and Aaron Burr tied in the Electoral College. Due to that, we amended the Constitution to make electors cast their votes separately for the president and the vice president. The other time it happened was in 1824 between John Quincy Adams and Andrew Jackson.
It has happened, like we mentioned earlier, that the winner of the popular vote may not be the same person who wins the electoral vote. We could have very lopsided victories in some states and very close races in other states that could lead to electoral vote, popular vote split. This has also happened in our history.
It's happened 3 times, which is very problematic because then the American people feel that their voices were not heard in the presidential election process.
You can see up here the times that it happened, most recently in the Bush versus Gore race of 2000. That all came down to Florida, which also may be the case tonight. That's how the Electoral College works. Thank you.
Thanks, Ms. Hammond. Thanks, Ms. Shark. I heard the first results just came in. Let's head over to Electoral Map to see what the results are.
And our first results are rolling in from our homeroom mock election. We have California going blue for Hillary Clinton. We also have Colorado going blue for Hillary Clinton. Moving over to Iowa. Iowa has voted red for Donald Trump. Our home state of Illinois, blue for Hillary Clinton. Indiana is also blue. The Midwest is shaping up to be a battleground. And Michigan is also blue.
Let's turn our attention to the South. We have Louisiana, which has also decided to vote blue for Hillary Clinton. We have Georgia, blue for Hillary Clinton. And we have Florida, blue for Hillary Clinton. Now if we go to New England, which sometimes is a mixed bag, we have Maine, which has gone blue for Hillary Clinton. We have Massachusetts. Blue for Hillary Clinton as well. And Maryland is the last one we have in, which is blue for Hillary Clinton.
Here's how the first results are looking. Let's head over to our panel for their reactions and commentary.
Now that the first results are in, let's turn to our panelists to see what they think. What about you, Scotty?
Well, I actually have an interesting fact for all of you. In Louisiana in 2012, 58% of people voted Republican, and now it's Democrat. In Iowa, actually in 2012, 52% voted Democrat, and now that is Republican. So there's a little flipperoo there. So the Democrats benefited because now they got 2 more Electoral College votes. So I thought that was an interesting fact.
What do you think of the results, Jamie?
I actually was surprised to see Florida come in so quickly. Usually that's like such a tense state. People kind of flip back and forth. It's mostly split down the middle, so it's kind of known as a battleground state. And the fact that it came in so early when they usually are counting votes, late into the night, now that it's declared itself Democrat so quickly, it speaks volumes about Hillary's influence there.
I agree, and while some states like California and Texas are usually won in landslides in the election, I think that states like Florida are going to be really close in the actual election, so make sure you're watching that tonight.
It's a really good point. Like going back on what Scotty was saying, Louisiana, Indiana, Georgia, those are all states that traditionally go red and they went blue. I mean, Louisiana hasn't gone blue since Clinton in '96, so that's really impressive to see.
Yeah, no, it's quite a shock to see the South going Democrat on this election. It's even though it's the candidates, but still it's really weird. And it's no shock to see, on the other hand, some of these Democratic stronghold states like California, Illinois remaining Democratic.
Yeah, for me personally, I can say that I'm not that surprised by the results we're getting here for Palatine High School. We've got students here that are ready for a leader that will support them in their beliefs, and I think everyone is leaning towards Hillary Clinton, and that's being shown in our results today.
Well, thank you, panelists. With the first results in, Clinton leads over Trump 176-6. Now let's head out to the Palatine Hall to see what some of our students think about the candidates.
Will you be voting in this election?
No, I'm not.
I will not be. I turned 18 in July.
Yes, I will be voting in this election.
I will not be voting in this election.
Personally, no. I turned 18 in December.
Fortunately, I will not be voting in this election.
What is your opinion on the candidates?
Hillary Clinton's good. Donald Trump's just a crazy maniac. Either one is going to ruin America, probably.
Trump, I don't have too much to say about him. But about Clinton, I will say like she's the best option that we have right now.
Both idiots. America's screwed.
I should vote for Donald Trump because it's not Hillary. And I think I should vote for Hillary because it's not Donald Trump. Either way, we're kind of doomed. If you could vote, who would you vote for?
That would be Hillary Clinton because we need a female to run this country.
I'll be voting for a third-party candidate, actually.
I probably would vote for Hillary Clinton, even though some of the things she did I'm not the biggest fan of, but a lot of her views coincide with mine. Hillary. Let's go Democrats.
I would probably vote for Donald Trump. There's just too much shady business going on with Hillary. I don't trust her in a sense. And not saying like that makes Donald Trump even better. I feel like I should be able to like trust the president. I just think Trump just wins over that.
So that's just a quick glimpse of what Palatine students think about our two candidates. Now let's head over to Ms. Shock and Ms. Hammond for another round of the electoral map.
Well, we've had some elections come in, and we've updated the board, but we have a couple more results to report to you now.
So as you can see over here on the West Coast, we've had some states fill in blue for Hillary Clinton. Some more results here. We had Nevada go red for Donald Trump. We also had Minnesota go blue. Missouri go blue. Arkansas go blue, and Mississippi go blue.
All right, and then the great state of Alabama, we have go red for Donald Trump. We have, we already called Indiana, Kentucky, blue for Secretary Clinton.
You can see that East Coast was filled in with more blue as well. Now let's head over to our panel for some more reactions to these most recent results.
Well, with those second round results, that puts Hillary at 306 and Trump at 21 electoral votes. Let's see what our panelists have to say. Emily?
Well, it's clear that Clinton's already won the election, but I found it pretty surprising that Nevada went red, especially since it's a battleground state in the real election. So you don't know which way it's going to swing tonight, so you should be watching out for that if you're catching up on the results tonight.
Scotty?
So last night I was in Michigan with a few of my friends, and we actually went to Donald Trump's final rally that he had, but it didn't work out for him. I mean, it was a great rally. It was a great representation of who he was and what he wanted for our country, but I guess he just couldn't get it done. So
Clearly he just didn't sell the people.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I could say something. I mean, if you look at the South, that's something that Donald Trump was certainly counting on. I mean, the southern states generally Republican. In our mock election, we have only Alabama going towards Donald Trump, so he's going to have to hope to gain those states in the real election if he's going to have any chance.
Yeah, and the states that are usually predominantly Republican didn't really come through with the vote for Trump this time. I mean, let's talk about America's greatest state, Montana. And, they went Democrat, and usually in the real election, they're a Republican state, so that's surprising.
What do you, Jimmy? What do you think?
I thought it was especially interesting that New York, I think traditionally it goes Democrat, but I think it's interesting that both candidates call that state their home state and that it went blue for Clinton, like landslide, so.
Yeah, overall, these results show that Trump's attempt to penetrate Hillary's firewall of the Rust Belt states has completely failed, and he's also failed in winning the vote in the South. He's really got nothing left to work with. Some would say Hillary has trumped him.
Oh!
Roasted.
Nice.
Well, thank you, panelists. Oh, let's head over to interview with our principal, Mr. Steiger, and the questions we asked.
Hey Pirates, Dante and I are here with Mr. Steiger to report on some of the election results. So we're going to give him an interview and ask him a few questions. So, how do you think the election at PHS is going to impact the climate of the school?
You know, hopefully it won't have a negative impact on the climate. I'm hoping actually it has a positive impact, showing students how to get involved in the democratic process and us coming together as a school. Kind of an exciting day, and we've always had polling here. We've got actually 4 precincts of voters from our community that come into our school to vote and everything else like that. And our social studies department's always been pretty on top of everything and pretty active and involved and engaged. And so I think it's just another opportunity. This is a pretty unique election. And again, you all only really get to experience it one time, a presidential election, while you're in high school. So it's kind of, and we understand it a little more now. We understand what's at stake. So it's pretty cool that we can do this and do things like that. So I'm hoping it just has a positive impact on our culture.
All right. What candidate do you personally feel will represent the people of Palatine High School the best?
Mitt Romney. he's my write-in vote, and that's I think Jerry O'Brien. But you know, I think obviously there is a lot of heated rhetoric in this election, and you know, I think when you look at the issues of education and welfare and rights of women and rights of students and rights of immigrants and everything else like that, I think both candidates are pretty far apart on that. It wouldn't be fair of me as an educator, since hopefully some of you will be going home tonight and seniors will be voting still if you didn't vote this morning. It wouldn't be fair of me to really put out there that I think one person is fairer. She's much fairer than the other. So I don't think that it would be totally appropriate for me to go one way or another on that, since people would still be voting potentially this afternoon.
Okay, I know I was in homeroom earlier and a lot of people were talking about how we didn't have many economic issues on the outside in the hallways. So do you think social issues or economic issues impact students more?
I think, well, you guys tell me. I think you all understand social issues more than the economic issues. And you know, we talk about that, and you know, and I can't get into one way or another because I can't really be political. But you all understand. You know, the two candidates are so far apart on gun rights, on women's ability to choose rights, and everything else like that. And I think you're more in tune to that than maybe some of their thoughts on how to improve our economy. I don't even understand how they're improving the economy.
And we're done. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Go Pirates.
All right, we're back with the final results here. We have a couple of swing states left to call.
So as you see, we filled in the map a little bit more. There's a lot more blue than there was last time. We are, however, ready to call Utah for Donald Trump. We are also ready to call Wisconsin for Hillary Clinton.
And swing state of North Carolina, we're ready to call for Hillary Clinton. Swing state of Pennsylvania, we're ready to call for Hillary Clinton. And swing state of Ohio, we're ready to call for Hillary Clinton. West Virginia, shouldn't be a surprise, Donald Trump.
Back to our panel for their reactions.
We're back from our final round of results. Now that we know how the PHS mock election turned out, let's see what our panelists have to say.
All right, I'll start with Utah, which, with the great Mormon population that lives in Utah, we were expecting it to go Republican. but a late addition for the Republican candidacy of Evan McMullen actually gave Trump a little run for his money, more than usual third-party candidates do. So that was kind of interesting, something out of Utah.
That's interesting.
I'm surprised Pennsylvania was so close, actually, that considering pretty much every other state has been blue, and the only two red states in the Northeast were West Virginia and Rhode Island. I think that was interesting that Pennsylvania was such a close matchup between Trump and Hillary Clinton.
I totally agree with that. North Carolina was another really close matchup. It's set to go blue tonight, but it's a battleground state, so you should be watching out for it when you're looking tonight.
And that wraps up our PHS mock election. Let's see our school results. Everybody hold them up. I think I'm clearly the winner, by the way. Just saying. And
he's still got a chance.
Still got a chance.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead, Eddie. I was just gonna say that on our side, we at least gave Trump like a decent chance. Over there, they were actually more accurate with Trump being blown out, which is what we had.
Yeah. But then again, that sort of resembles more of what we had predicted the Palatine results would be. So we'll be right back with from a quick break. Now let's talk about the actual election going on today. Don't forget that the first polls close at 6 p.m. Central, so tune in to watch the live updates tonight at home. Now let's look at the predictions for our panelists of the actual election tonight. Let's start off with Sammy.
All right, so I have Hillary Clinton taking this election 319 to 219 against Donald Trump.
I have Hillary taking the election at 304 to 234.
And I predicted that Clinton would win 310 to 228.
I have Clinton winning at 318 to 220.
I don't have a paper, but I have Donald Trump winning somehow.
I've got Clinton winning 340 to 198.
And I also have Hillary Clinton winning at 323 to 215 over Donald Trump.
Now, let's talk about the election going on today. We know that there's lots of things going on with how the states and the swing states that are coming on. So let's look at the panelists that are going to go into further depth of the swing states. Let's start off with Scotty.
I'll go first. So Nevada is one of our swing states, and early voting, they're leaning towards Hillary Clinton, and they have 6 Electoral College votes, which are very important, especially for Donald Trump. So he hopefully will need to make a big poll later in the day in the polls because he needs as many votes as he can from these swing states.
I can talk about North Carolina. It's going to be an important one today because generally North Carolina has a good amount of early voting locations, but in the past few weeks, due to a recent Supreme Court ruling, they've had significantly less. That disproportionately affects Democratic voters because they generally take advantage of those options. So that might be enough to give Trump a shot of winning North Carolina.
Florida has been a battleground for the past week because Trump really needs this state, and it's been very close so far. Hillary was only up about 1 or 2% in the polls for the past week until recently when the Latino vote came and bumped Hillary up by 10%. So Donald Trump's really going to need to do something to get Florida.
Wow.
Ohio is a lot like Florida. It's overwhelmingly middle class, so it comes down to every vote. And Trump needs to win Ohio if he even dreams of winning the election tonight. But the polls are looking good for him, and LeBron James actually just endorsed Hillary Clinton, so we'll see how that impacts him tonight.
Another really important battleground state is New Hampshire. They have 4 Electoral College votes. So far, their polls open at 12 in the morning, so at midnight. Donald Trump is leading over Hillary with 32 votes to her 25, which could show that even though she's winning the state right now in polls, he might be taking a lead. So that's a really important state for him to win if he even wants a shot of winning the presidency.
And to end off, we'll talk about the place probably none of you have heard of. It's the U.S. island territory of Guam in the Pacific. Since they are unable to vote for the president, they conduct a straw poll every election cycle. And this year, 32,000 of them have participated, and where Clinton has won their straw poll 71% to 24%. And I bring this up because 2 reasons. One, Guam has correctly predicted the presidential election every year for every cycle since 1984. And two, because of 32,000 people in an island that can't actually go vote, I think everyone else in this country should go vote, because your vote actually counts.
Thank you, panelists, for your participation. Don't forget Palatine that the polls close in Illinois at 7 p.m. So anybody 18 older, even if you haven't registered, you can still go out and vote today. Have a great day. Go Pirates.